Just take a moment to let yourself be in this space that we call practice. You might start just by bringing your attention right to the tip of your nose and just allow the next breath to come. Feel the oxygen coming into the body and then sigh it out. You might use your mouth to sigh out. And then see if you can just follow the pattern of that breath again. You might like to soften the muscles in your face. You might like to join me in a smile, maybe around your eyes, your eyebrows, your cheeks. You might like to drop the jaw. Just notice any tightness wherever it might be. So welcome to day 5 of our Qigong intensive. And we've done one day for each of the 5 elements of Chinese medicine. We started with the fire element, moved on to the earth element, the metal element, and yesterday the water element. And today our final day is wood, the season of spring. You might like to think of traditional Chinese medicine as kind of like just helping you follow nature all around you. So each element connects with the season. And wood is the season of expansion, when out of winter things start to grow, new seeds are planted. So when we think of wood element, we think of having a plan, having a goal, starting to move, knowing what direction we're moving in, all that kind of good energy of expansion. And when out of balance, it's things like anger and frustration, even boredom and irritation, where you just feel like you're stuck in the same place. So we'll be exploring that a little bit today through the body. Let's start by just taking our palms down. And as we always do, we'll just lift, feel like we're inviting and welcoming in new energy, new learning for this day. And then sigh out, sense of releasing anything that doesn't serve us. Let's start in our fingers today. Often when our fingers are reaching for all of the things, that's part of frustration, the idea that we need to get what we want. Funny thing about life is always things happen that we don't want to happen. Always things we want to happen that don't happen. That's just how it always rolls. Not good to feel too special. And we switch our practice to want what we have rather than focus on what's missing, what's wrong. All right, let's interlace our fingers. See if you can squeeze the hands together, squeeze the palms together. Try and remove any light from between your fingers. And just start to roll the wrists. There's a Zen story that I love. Person wants to study at a monastery and is walking along the road and then sees an open gate and a monk sitting at the gate. And the person says to the monk, I am in search for knowledge. I notice your gate is open. How do you keep out, not people like me, of course, but the troublesome people? How do you keep them out with the gate open? And the monk says, shake out hands. Monk says, we just ignore them and they go away. And the man is like, well, I'm in search of knowledge and I'm actually looking for a monastery. Tell me the answer to this question. How do you keep out the stupid people? What do you do with them? And the monk says, well, you just ignore them and they go away. And the man just can't let it go. He's like, but what about the annoying people? The monk just sits there gardening, sitting at the gate. And the man keeps speaking. And he thinks the monk hasn't heard him, so he says it a little louder. But what do you do about the really annoying and the stupid people? The monk keeps gardening. Soon enough, the person decides that he needs to find a new monastery, someone that will actually answer his question. And the monk smiles to himself as the person walks off and says, you see, it works every time. All right, so we're going to start with some acupressure points. So the first one we'll do is this one called gallbladder number 8, Tai Yang. It's, if you trace outside your eyebrows, there's a little kind of cavity, an indent in the side of your skull. See if you can find it with the flat part of maybe 1 or 2 fingers. And just press in here, and we're going to just notice the feeling under the fingers. You might tuck your chin in and let your back of your neck be a little longer, crown of the head lifting up, spine long. These points are for concentration, maybe if you have headache, pain in the head. You might like to just take small circles, just bring your attention underneath the fingers. And let's take our hands around to the back of the neck. So just a hollow in the side of the neck, underneath the occipital bones. They're those big bones at the bottom of your skull. You might like to push up and in. And just notice the sensation here. You might like to feel along the neck. You've got a big, long, ropey kind of bone called the scalenes, or a group of muscles called the scalenes. And then occipital bone just sits right at the top of that. So you want a feeling of kind of lengthening and extension. And again, just small circles with the fingers. This is a point called Feng Shi, the wind pool, gallbladder number 20. So as you know now, this gallbladder meridian is all about irritation and impatience and moodiness. Maybe it exhibits as anger. Remembering we need a little stress in our lives. We need stress to get things done, to be motivated. So not all stress is bad. Sometimes people talk about stress as if it's a negative thing, but we need some stress. We need to put ourselves a little out of our comfort zone. But today we're just going to be planting seeds ready to expand through 2024. You might like to just gently turn the chin. You might like to take the fingers up along the side of the neck. My idea with all these points is just to be a little curious, notice where the tightness or tension might be in the body. Wherever we take our attention, our energy follows, our chi follows. So just this act of focusing on a point helps send new oxygen through the body, flowing through the blood. And best of all, with new oxygen, usually comes clarity. More oxygen in the brain means better decisions. All right, let's shake out. And you might like to just turn the chin and just notice how your neck feels. There's a lot going on in our neck in such a small area. Every decision that we make, and decisions come from body to brain and brain to body, not just one-way road. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves of this. Everything travels through the neck. Let's do one more. So top of the shoulders, we're going to sweep a hand across the body. This one is gallbladder 21. The point is called Xinjiang in Chinese. Excuse my pronunciation. And we're looking for a kind of spongy muscle on the top of the shoulder. Just explore it. And you might end at a point halfway between the edge of your shoulder joint and the point where your neck kind of bulges out. And what we're looking for, we're not looking for the point that has no sensation. We're looking for the point that's a little tight, a little tender. And this is usually just a trigger point in our myofascial tension. So our myo is muscle, fascia is the connective tissue that wraps around our body and gives it its shape. So we just want to find that spot in our fascia and just start to move the opposite arm. Notice any sensations, any feeling. It might be when you lift the arm above the head. It might be when you take the arm behind the back. You might turn the palm up or turn it down. So just explore every kind of movement that your body will allow. So these points are available to us at any time of the day. And whenever your body is giving you that message of soreness, of tension, you might like to just return to these points. Thousands of years of study, generation after generation, have studied the body and handed that knowledge down. And often when we feel frustrated, when we feel angry or impatient, irritated, it's because of the messages in our body. We think it's in our mind, but often it's in our body. All right, let's shake that arm out and just bring it onto the leg, maybe resting. Notice how you feel. Maybe this side and this side feel totally different now. Just take a moment to acknowledge that. Maybe they feel the same, but if you notice any difference, just acknowledge it to yourself. And then when you're ready, we'll use the arm that we just worked and bring it across. We're doing the other side. So point halfway between neck and shoulder joint. And when you're ready, start to explore. What can we notice right now? Maybe we notice imbalance in the body, one side feeling a little more tight than the other. One particular movement. Keep moving the hand around, maybe find another little knot of muscle tension. And when you're ready, we'll shake that arm out too. Let it be as heavy as you can. And then just bring it back, rest on the body. Maybe we feel a little more even now. Take a few breaths here. All right, let's come up to stand. So we're going to start today. Just a sense for where our liver and gallbladder meridians are. So liver starts at the in between big toe and second toe, comes up the inside line of the legs, and liver is on this side of your body, or mirror me, I guess. Uh, so right side of the body underneath the ribs. And gallbladder is just a place where all the bile goes. Liver is the sorter, the general of Chinese medicine. It sorts through blood, takes out impurities and toxins, sorts out nutrients, holds on to what we need, gets rid of what we don't need, and we let go of bile through the gallbladder. Let's take both arms up above the head. You might like to just grab a hold of a thumb and just draw that thumb across. Now we're just going to gently open through the side body. And then we'll come up tall. We'll take a new breath. And we'll sigh out. Just let your body open in. Breathing out as you draw across. No destination, just letting the body slowly open. Let's do one more each side. And we'll come up tall, take both arms down. Let's roll the shoulders. Let's do some general warm-ups to the body. We'll take our elbows behind and then swing them. Just opening the shoulders. Let the arms be as heavy as you can. This time we'll open out and then across. Note which arm is on top and start to alternate it. And last one. And there you go. Let's take one arm down the side. And then rolling back up, new breath. And the last one. We'll roll our shoulder blades in at the back, open the chest, take a breath, and then sighing out, reaching forward. Keep going, follow your own breath rhythm. Let's do 2 more times. And arms come down. We'll take our legs a little wider into a horse stance, a mabu. Drop the tailbone down, tuck it under. So spine should feel straight, tall. Notice these muscles in your legs switching on in your glutes. We'll turn our palms down. And we're just going to twist our body spine to face towards the knee. Reach out, sigh out. We'll come back through via the knee. Inhale, take a new breath. Exhale, reaching forward. See if you can start to shift your weight side to side. Let your body be a little fluid. Notice the connection from hips to knee to ankle. Everything working to keep us strong and stable. Spine stays fairly straight and tall. We're not trying to reach. You might feel like you're just polishing a table in front of you. The most important thing is to keep attention underneath the feet. Find every corner of the feet. All right, let's change direction. And when you're ready, we'll step back. We're going to spend just 1 minute in a standing form, a tree-like form. This is the season of spring, the wood element. Just float your arms up and turn the palms in towards the body. And see if you can drop the shoulders, sink the chest a little. Spine is long. Just notice those muscles in the lower body. And once you're in this shape, you might take a breath. Just follow the breath. Give it all the time it needs. So some people, the only Qigong they do is this form, maybe for 20 minutes in a day. And generally those people are very strong, very fit, even though they don't move. They're standing completely still. So just notice how you feel. And if you need to come out, just come out at any time. And when you're ready, palms slowly come down. All right, so let's do some classic wood element Qigong forms. We'll start with the tiger form. This is the first form of the Wu Qin Qi, the 5 animal frolics. We're going to take a little bit of tension in our fingers, almost like you have a claw, a tiger claw. And see if you can isolate that tension, that feeling of tightness just to the fingers and hands. So can you relax your shoulders, your chest, your jaw? You might find as soon as you tense your fingers, your whole body becomes tense. That's okay. We're practicing. No succeed or fail. So just feel that tension in the fingers. We're going to draw the claws up through the body. Take a breath in. Now see if you can release that tension as you go past the heart. And then we're going to follow the fingers with our eyes, pushing up. Now we find the tension again. Inhale, come into the body. Release the tension. Exhale down. All right, see if you can find a rhythm in your own body. So lower body stays heavy and stable. Inhale, tension comes in. Now we release. And we push out. Sigh out. Drawing in. Sighing out. Inhale towards the body. Exhale when you push away from the body. And start to see if you can feel that sense of release with each breath. We'll bring the palms onto the body. The next form we'll do is another very famous Qigong and Tai Chi form, usually called something like punching with a focused gaze or an angry gaze. But the idea with this is it's not a lash out punch, it's a just protect our energy. We always have a choice of what sort of environment we put ourselves in, what kind of people we surround ourselves with. So the idea with this is not to lash out, but to just protect our own sense of space and self, simply through the choice of where we put our attention. So legs are a little wider than shoulder width. Bend the knees, back of the knees soft. Tuck the tailbone again, so we're back in our almost horse stance. And we're going to wrap our fingers in towards the middle of our palm. This is our Laogong point that you might remember from the other day. So you might tuck your thumb in and just wrap the fingers over it. And draw the elbows into the side of the body. And see if you can just release any tightness or tension in the face, around the eyes, cheeks, jaw. Take a breath or two here. All right, I'm going to just show you very slowly at the start. So we take a breath in to prepare. And as we sigh out, turn the hand over and extend out. Now we don't want to reach too far. Our spine is staying still. Now we're going to take a little bit of a stop sign and then curl. So the fingers come back to face up, drawing energy from sky. We wrap the fingers around, very slow motion right now. And now we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale to push out. Take that stop sign again. Roll the wrist, curl the fingers in. Now a breath in. As we push out, we sigh out. So you can start to see this idea of just protecting. We teach ourselves that when we are holding a shape like this, we are breathing out, we're letting out carbon dioxide, we're not tensing the body, we're not tightening anything. We're holding our shape strong and stable. Every time you push out, you're sighing out. If you want, you can move faster. You can listen to your own body, follow your own patterns. Every practice of Qigong is just to learn about our body, to learn to listen to the messages of our body. Notice where your attention is right now. Are you far away as mind and body in different times, different places? Just invite your attention back in. All right. When you're ready, we'll draw back in. And let's just let everything be loose this time. Just noticing sense of letting go of everything. Okay, we'll do a couple more wood element forms. The next one is one of my favorites. It's called the monkey presenting fruit. Of course, you'll know by now, monkey is our mischievous mind, always telling us we need things that we don't have. Now, so we're going to start this one in a bow stance. So from the side, it'll look something like this. Make sure your feet are wide enough so that you don't want to be like this. You don't want to be rocking from side to side. So you should still have that same kind of hip width space between the legs. And this is a very simple form. We're just going to take one palm over the other and extend forward. Now, notice again, my spine is still straight. I'm just leaning into my front foot. And then I'm going to inhale to draw back, shift my weight to the back foot, and then turn the palms up, sigh out. So you might like to feel like a tree, deep roots into the ground, swaying so the weight is on the front foot, swaying so the weight is on the back foot. But either way, the roots are deep. All right, let's step back in. We're going to just go straight to the other side. Same movement, breathing in, sighing out. You might feel like you're gathering up any frustration or anger or irritation from your hips. And then just feeling of openness, of generosity, of giving. One of the things I love about Chinese medicine is this idea that we don't find the answer to what angers us or frustrates us through using our mind. It's simply the point at which that we are open and giving that our fortunes change. So monkey mind is always busy trying to think of a solution to our problems, but it's just as simple as this intention to be open, to share. And maybe we already know this deep in our hearts, but we need the reminder of our practice every day. Notice how it feels to have an open heart, open chest. Maybe it feels unfamiliar. This is why we practice. Let's step back. And you might like to just bring palms back onto the body again, this idea of arriving in stillness. Just taking a moment to notice any sensations, any feeling in the body. All right, we might just do one more form today. So again, just feet a little wider. We're going to come back to that stance where our elbows are tucked in and our palms are face up. And this one, we're going to find our kind of claw, just like we did before when we were doing our tiger form. But we're going to have our eyes on the fingers and we're going to push across, shifting our weight and rolling our hips. Now take that hand down. Eyes can follow. We're going to scan the floor. And then inhale as we come up. Prepare for the other side. Sigh out as we push across. Pause the breath. Scan the ground. Inhale, coming up. Feel free to sigh out. And then just luxuriate in this kind of pause before we breathe in. We're scanning the earth, noticing our connection to the earth, humble, grateful. Eyes stay focused on the fingers. This is a strong form, so maybe you might need to take a break. Just listen to your body. We'll just do one more time. When you're ready, arms come back onto the body. You might like to just feel your belly expand underneath the palms as you breathe in. And then sighing out, making space. Let our arms be heavy, and we'll just roll the hips back, roll the shoulders back. Might like to start to lift the heel and reach over the shoulder. Eyes follow the fingers. Just let the arms start to be heavy and maybe come back to the body. And we'll bring our palms together. Last little bit of heat. You might like to transfer that dry washing energy to the face, maybe the forehead, the cheeks, the chin, maybe combing through the hair, or tapping, scratching. You might come to the neck. The throat. You might like to just trace down the front of the sternum, just letting go and then flicking out fingers. And we'll bring our palms together. As always, let's acknowledge our choice to practice. Everything we practice grows stronger in our lives. So when we plant a new seed for the year 2024 to maybe just move along a path, expand, grow, don't necessarily need to name a destination. Sometimes when we do that, we just set ourselves up to fail. So if we keep practicing, we inevitably move in the right direction, maybe simply towards something new, something unfamiliar, some new habit energy that serves us more. So let's just acknowledge with gratitude that for just a moment. And then, as always, let's send our gratitude to each other with a bow. Thanks, everyone. Please remember you can join me for Qigong practice every week, most days, and also many, many videos of previous practices on YouTube that you can access anytime. Please drop me a note if you'd like a link or details. Thanks.